Hello everyone, welcome to the Crash F1 YouTube channel, and today we are back with ranking drivers' best and worst cars in F1, and today we have the four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. So as you can see on screen, we have 15 cars, 2007 to 2021. Which goes in the best, which goes in the worst? Let's find out. So we'll start off with 2019. Now, I believe this car is a good car. It is a car that Sebastian took his last victory in, which was Singapore 2019, and it could have been more. It could have been two. People count it as two still. The Canadian Grand Prix, where he got it took off him due to track extending and cutting the course. But we'll not go on to that. And yeah, I think the 2019 car was good. It wasn't as good as the Red Bull or the Mercedes, but it was a good car. And then we have 2020. Oh, this car, it goes in the worst category for Sebastian Vettel's career. It was a shocking year in 2020. One podium that came at the Turkish Grand Prix, and yeah, the less said about the 2020 car, the better. Aston Martin. Now, it's a difficult one. This car hasn't really had much changes from the Racing Point in 2020, and people essentially brand it as a 2019 Mercedes, and may be true, but it's a tough one. It's between not so good and underrated, because Seb has been underrated in this car, I believe. I'm going to put it in underrated because he's had two podiums, one being official and the other being unofficial due to fuel in the car, and he's drove really well in the thing, and I think that he's shown pace, in this last year of a regulation, that he's getting the maximum out of that car. It took him a while at the start, obviously, because of a new team, but I think the 2021 car for Seb has been underrated. He's put some good performances in, and he deserves to be, where he is, and I think that next year with a regulation change, who knows where Seb could be on the grid. Then we have 2007. So his first car, I know he debuted with Sauber for one race, but I don't really think it's fair to put it in for that one race. It was a good car in 2007, the Sauber, but this is the Toro Rosso. So as you can see, it is a season he drove basically half of the 2007 season in, and he got some really good results. Unfortunately, he crashed out in Japan while hitting the rear of Mark Webber in the torrential rain at Fuji. That would have been a podium. And then in China, he got fourth. So I'm going to go not so good for this car, because it wasn't a great car, and it was really Seb pulling the maximum out of it in tricky conditions. So that will go there. 2008, his debut victory car, a season where he really did maximise the best out of it, and again the last year of a regulation, and Toro Rosso had a really good car that year, and it's going to go in the underrated category because he was really fast in 2008 compared to his teammate Sebastian Bourdais, but Bourdais had some good qualifying results and was just unlucky with a few things. But Seb really did drive the wheels off that car, and he almost cost Lewis Hamilton his first ever world title. But it was a good stepping stone for him to go into the 2009 Red Bull, which is up next. It is a good car. It could arguably be in the best category, because if you look at the 2009 season, Braun had the best car for 7 rounds, and in the rest of that season, it was just Red Bull had developed an absolute weapon with the concepts from Major Nui. It was Seb actually gave Red Bull their first win in F1 in 2009 around China, and he really did lose a lot of points early on in the year. And when you look at the title standings, he could have, really been 2009 champion if it wasn't for a few mistakes early in that year. So it could have been in the best category, but I'm going to put it in the good category. So as you can see, the 2010 car, where does this one go? I believe 2010, it was the best car on the grid, and it was deserved that Sebastian won the title. I think that his late season form really above the rest, Alonso, Weber, Hamilton, Button, it showed why he put himself in that position to win a title. He done all he had to do. The car with both drivers, you could argue and say McLaren was one of the best cars, if not the best, but the Red Bull for me was a continuation of 2009 and it got better, and that's why I think it's in the best category. And then we come to my personal favourite. So this is the 2011 Red Bull. I love this car. It is an unbelievable car that doesn't get credit. It's Sebastian Vettel's best car, I believe, in the field that raced in 2011. And the aerodynamic just package this car had with the blown diffuser and how it used cars at the time was just on a different planet. And I think it was a fantastic car. He drove the absolute wheels off it, winning the title in Japan. I believe it was the best car, and I think it's Sebastian Vettel's best ever car he's had in F1. 2012, I'm going to put in good. It was a title winning car, but I don't think the car was the best. Certainly for the last 4 rounds it might have been the best, but overall that year, not a chance. It had so much reliability issues, and Seb really did have to grit his teeth and grind out results in it. It wasn't the best qualifying car compared to 10 and 11, and he got the title done in Brazil, of course, but it wasn't the best car. I think Seb really drove that car and put it in places where it shouldn't have been. And then we have 2013. It goes in the best category. It's arguably, you could put 2011 and the 2013 Red Bull really close to each other. And it was a dominant car, end of a regulation, and there's not much to say. Those wins, it was 13 wins or 12 wins he had that year, and it was just dominance from Red Bull. 2014, it was a good car in the sense that Daniel Ricciardo drove the wheels off it and actually beat Seb, but it wasn't so good for him. He couldn't really get used to the new V6s. The downforce wasn't that great. He always had mechanical issues compared to Ricciardo. Vettel had a lot, and yeah, he didn't really enjoy that season. And we go into the next car, which I think is a really underrated car, and it is the 2015 Ferrari. You had the Mercedes in 2015, who were miles clear of everybody else, and Ferrari sprung a surprise, and Vettel was great that year, picking up 3 wins. He was a breath of fresh air, really. F1 kind of embraced Sebastian Vettel when he went to Ferrari, and it was like everyone had given a lot of stuff and hate for winning so much at Red Bull, that when he went to Ferrari and became like an underdog, people loved that. And yeah, that goes in underrated. 2016 Ferrari, not so good. Didn't win a race that year. No, it just doesn't get that for me. 2017 Ferrari goes in good. It wasn't the title challenge that he wanted. It was close in 2017, with Hamilton, and Ferrari just lacked engine power compared to the Mercedes, but they were good in low downforce, and the engine really didn't help them that year. But when it came to really high downforce circuits, they really showed their own. Monaco, of course. And yeah, Seb put a good account in 2017 and finished second. But 2018 Ferrari, I've said it in my Lewis Hamilton video when ranking the cars from 2018. This car, 2018 Ferrari, I believe was the best car on the grid. And it was a shame that Vettel at the end of the season, just after that, crashing out of the lead at Germany, that really did set this mental sort of block where he kept spinning, hitting people. He had the best car, and it was a missed opportunity for Seb that year. So yeah, that's Sebastian Vettel's cars. They're ranked, and let me know what you think of the list. I put it in the description below, and you can send us yours. Who would you like to see next in this series? Would you like to see Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, Drop a comment below. Make sure to subscribe to Crash F1 for more content. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.